Alright. We've got a lot to do, so we need to get going. Sorry about no stream last night. I tried. I really did. I was in no condition to do anything last night, so my nasty migraine had come back, so it just doesn't want to depart us here. Feeling okay at the moment, so maybe we're finally done with all that. I did see a couple of spots in here that just need a little bit of touching up. One, two, three, four, five. Okay, that should be enough there. Alright, so this is a bonus art stream. Don't normally stream on Tuesday. Usually the husband's playing D&D. But they ended up canceling, which is all well and good for us, because that gives us a chance to jump in here and get some stuff done, which is more than fine with me. We just need to get these couple of pieces in here and cooperating. That's the tough part, is trying to get them to cooperate. Hopefully we can. And these were just a couple of spots that I noticed some of the underpainting poking through. It wasn't terrible. We could have just let it go, but it was there enough where it was gonna bug me, so just do a quick touch up here. And that won't take too long. At least it shouldn't. Already figured out where all of them were. And we'll just get these guys sat in here. And then we will move on to the big green menace that we still need to deal with here. The big green elephant in the room. Alright, so just gonna make sure everybody is well and truly seated in there. Hopefully we are. Alright. Okay, now, this monstrosity. So, I had been thinking really hard about how I wanted to handle this, because I really wasn't sure. And, I'm still not 100% sure this is gonna work. I'm hoping it will. We will see how this goes. So I was thinking that I kind of wanted to make this a multicolor thing. But I wasn't sure how I wanted to go about that. Because, you know, we've got our circles on the main bulk of the body, right? And then we've got our little balls appear on the head. Like a piece of glitter. You know, and then I was thinking, well, maybe lines appear, but then trying to get them to do all those curves it's a pain. It doesn't work well. So I decided, well, what if we still do the curves, but we do it a little bit differently. So here's what I'm thinking. We're gonna start at the top and work our way down, because I feel like all of this would be laying on top of itself. So we'll get, our pattern's gonna change slightly, so that's fine. Not a big deal there. It was probably gonna change anyway. It was just a rough lay-in anyhow. So that's probably too much glue, and we're probably gonna have to add a little bit in as we go. So we're gonna kind of layer it in, and I'm thinking we'll start with this shade first. But we're not gonna use the whole piece. We're gonna kind of do thirds if we can. Might only be able to do halves depending on how big some of these are. So this is what I mean by our pattern's gonna change, and there's gonna be a little bit of overlapping, just the way it's gonna be. So we might have to come in and add some more layers of glue on top of these guys. Now again, this is just sort of a working theory. We're gonna see if we can actually make this work. Don't know yet. We're gonna see. If we can. Hopefully I have enough twisted. That's what I was doing all afternoon, was twisting paper. Trying to get ready for this. I had started to twist some for this part last night, and then when my head and neck just exploded, I'm like, well, that's not happening. So I kind of yielded. I was like, all right, I give up, body. It's like, you can stop now. All right. This one kind of partially unraveled, so it's being a little extra frumpy. Like I said, this may or may not work. We'll see. How this goes. Although the amount that I'm using on this color, I'm now suddenly not so sure that we've got quite enough ready. But that might be enough for right there. So now I'm gonna take a little bit more glue. We're gonna try to take a little bit more glue. I'm gonna lay that on top. Now remember, it's okay if this section's a little shiny from the tacky glue because the sealant will take care of that. So not a huge problem. Alright, so we're going to take our next color. Start to lay that in. Ever so carefully. Now, in all honesty, these could probably be a little bit smaller, but at the same time, I still kind of need to be able to handle them here, so they can't be too small. I mean, we've dealt with smaller. We definitely have. I mean, it's not like it's not possible. I'm just trying to make things a little bit easier on myself. Because we still have one more layer of this to go, but we won't have to put on that many. For the next layer, we just need a little bit kind of peeking out here. I hope everybody's work week is going okay so far. I'm sure a lot of people have jumped into WoW now that the servers are coming back up. Please be careful if you're on a challenger. We seem to find all of the bugs from a patch, and since it's a big patch day, you never know if the servers are suddenly going to go down. Don't recommend playing immediately after the servers come up on a patch day. I just don't. Also, keep in mind that add-ons are going to be kafutzed when you go to log in. So might want to check to see if you have any updates available before you actually go to log in. Might save you a little bit of trouble. I mean, it's possible that some add-ons had put out updates ahead of time. Some do. Some don't till a day or two or three after patch comes up. Because, you know, schedules and things. Gotta have time to do the things. I'm gonna be looking at testing a trial class Bloodthirsty on the patch later today. It seems to be okay for irons. No deaths happened or were logged when Stir tried it on one of his irons, so I'm thinking pacifists will be okay. Bloods, though, you can't take Threads of Fate. Remember that. So even if you take the Maul skip, you still have to do the second half of the quests to get into Ouroboros. You can't just be like, oh, I'm here, I can take Threads of Fate now. No. That's not gonna work. So don't forget that in your excitement, haste to get in there. As far as I know, nobody has tested for Bloodthirsty yet. It's probably going to come down to me and Zaya, but this needs to get done, and we're gonna do that later tonight. Now, I won't be doing the trial class that I'm going to test on stream. I'm going to save that for tomorrow. I am going to be co-hosting on the podcast with Lita this week, so that's one thing we're going to be talking about is patchy things and how those patchy things went for us in all of the things. So I am not quite ready to discuss that yet. Not quite ready to jump in there yet. I'm not sure if I'm gonna buy the new flight plan toys. That is a lot of money, and I am trying to save up for a potential token coming up in a couple of months, so and at this point I don't know if I really need it. Irons probably would benefit from it, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of traveling. Pacifists might benefit from it as well. Also depends on how much traveling you plan on doing. Damn. you to sit on top of that, please. Thank you much. So I chopped this one up just to make this harder on myself. No, just to make this a little bit easier to lay in here. Because sometimes when they are a solid piece, they're a little bit harder to bend and maneuver. All right, so I know that these are a lot smaller. So next up, we're probably going to I'm just trying to figure out what would be the easier way to do this. Cause yeah, I did make those really small. Yeah, let me think about this for a minute. Okay, so I'm thinking we'll split this into twos. So we'll work on this side first. Mostly because I already started to put some glue down, and then I was like, oh no, wait. So again, the stuff underneath just kind of was there for like an idea, just so my brain had something to work with. So let's dry off our brush there. I changed out the water in my cup, so I'm trying to make sure that I actually am rinsing this brush good, because there's not a bunch of sludge in the bottom now to help clean it off. Alright. Okay, I don't know if we're going to use that piece. That piece is kind of tiny. Alright. So let's get our next set of little guys in here. them in all in a row. And, you know, have them go wherever the hell they seem to want to. Thanks, piece of paper. Totally not where I wanted you to go, but okay. Hey, it's gonna do what it's gonna do. And we just kind of have to be along for the ride with it, I guess. Because it's not worth fighting that hard over. Not really. That one's a little bit long, but that's all right. Again, we can work with that being a little bit on the longer side. If I can pick up my scissors, that would be fantastic. Since things seem to want to not function for me here today. Alright. So, I mean, it's helping a little bit that we're able to cut these to get a little bit more mileage. So maybe we'll have enough prep done here. Although knowing me, I probably freaked out and over prepped, but that's not really such a bad thing, is it? I mean, we already had the stuff, so it's not that terrible. Okay. So, like I said, we'll see how this goes. It's not gonna be like dead on to the reference photo, but I think it'll look pretty good. Now, we did get the reference photo off Unsplash. Great site for all kinds of reference photo resources. Those guys to the side, just so I don't lose them. Oh wait, we still had a couple over here. Alright, so let's go ahead and start cutting these guys. They're kind of hard to see, so I might set them over here, a spot that I know is dry. Alright. I really did want to go live earlier this afternoon, but like I said, I had to do prep. And then I was making sure that I was actually up to doing it today. Because I kid you not, I have been sick for like 4 days. It's been terrible. Off and on. I mean, I managed to get in a stream or two around it. But one of the reasons why I was trying to rush to get through our last live stream and wrap up was because I was starting to not feel well. Like, I could feel the migraine creeping back into my neck, and I'm like, oh no, we need to wrap this shit up, because it was starting to upset me, and I'm like, oh, no. don't want to feel like this. Like it was bad. I was starting to feel shaky, so I'm like, yeah, no, we need to stop now. But I really wanted to finish where we were. Right, just spreading that out just a little bit. Make sure we've got good enough coverage. Okay. Plus I had tried to stay up last night to do Momo's medication, and husband was up. He's like, just go to bed. He's like, I'll stay up. He's like, you obviously don't feel well. And I'm like, yeah, but you stayed up the night before. He's like, it's fine, go. But I'd also been up. I was his sounding board for something he was working on for Lita and Wild Challenges, and we kind of brainstorm back and forth with each other. He's like, well, he'll keep showing me rough drafts. He's like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? How about this? What if, and I'm like, well, what if you change this? What if you add that? This looks like it's missing something. Something looks off. So like, he'll do the bulk of the art on stuff, but I will be the sounding board for, how does this look? Does this look okay? So I actually saw a couple drafts of something last night, and I'm like, the first draft I saw, I'm like, it doesn't look right. Something looks wrong. It took me a few minutes of bouncing stuff back and forth off of him to figure out why it looked wrong to me, and then I'm like, hey, this is missing. He's like, yeah, that is missing. So, but I know some things that are coming for Wild Challenges for the website that you guys don't know about. Stuff that we can deal with. Why do I hear voices? Don't answer that. This sounds like voices from outside, though, so I'm like, what? Why am I hearing outside voices? Should I be concerned? Is there someone in our front yard? Is it my neighbors? What is happening? Did Russell go outside? I don't think he went outside. He was taking a nap and then he got up and disappeared, so I don't know where he went. And I think we're gonna need a few more on this. It's like, I know there was another one. Where did it go? Alright. Let's work on getting this next little bit in. So I'm not sure how I feel about this part yet. I think I kind of like it, but I'm gonna have to like it soon, because I mean, I can't undo it if we go too much further. It's gonna be a bitch to undo. So I better start liking it. I really need to get some craft tweezers. The ones I've been using are not exactly craft tweezers. They were my good tweezers that I had picked up down in Florida when we were at Key West. When we went to the Butterfly Conservatory down there. Fun place. Totally recommend going. But go when you have time. Go when you're not in a rush. Because it does get a little bit crowded. And it's not that big in the conservatory part, so you're going to want to take your time. And they've got a couple of resident flamingos. And in fact, I think they have a special thing that you can sign up for, or at least they did. I don't know if they still do. I don't even know if they reopened from COVID, to be perfectly honest. I would think so. They might ask you to wear a mask inside because it is pretty close quarters. And it's very hot in there. But I don't know. I imagine they reopened from COVID. I actually don't know. That's kind of big. And that just flew off into oblivion. I have no idea. It went somewhere back by my computer. By my tower. I have no idea where that decided to vacate to, but it was a fun place. And they have all kinds of pinned butterflies in acrylic cases that have since passed away, or they didn't breed them just to pin them. They were released into the thingy, I believe, or different artists had or bug people had pinned them in different designs. I've got 2 of those. I've got a blue Morpho with some monarch butterflies behind it. Goes back to a Venture Brothers joke, so Russell saw it and he had to get it for me. And I have another one that's kind of like a black and a teal. And I picked up those tweezer guys because they were up at the front register and they were fairly cheap. And I'm like, it's a flamingo, I have to have it. And we got a couple of metal metal butterfly art pieces to put on the wall. We were originally going to put them outside, and we had them sitting outside on the porch to attach them to the side of the house, and we never did. And then they were getting dusty and funky, and I'm like, let's just clean them up and put them up on the wall in our room, because our room's walls are terribly bare. And we have not finished hanging all of the stuff that didn't sell yet in the Etsy shop. We really should. We probably really should. And I realized I kind of did this a little backwards, but that's okay. Alright. We'll get this kind of just worked into the bottom edge just to make sure that everybody is good and attached. I hate that I have to keep cleaning my glue brush because we're using it so much today. But at the same time, we can't really just let the glue get all nice and cozy in there. Because that could be quite the problem. Yeah, so we didn't get any trick-or-treaters. Nobody ended up with last year's candy canes from our fridge. Would have loved to seen the look on somebody's face, but probably for the better that that didn't end up happening. In all honesty. Be like, hi, I'm sorry, I'm poor, this is the best I can give you, it's free, take it or leave it. Alright. I want to make sure that everybody is all tucked up in there. Alright. So I keep moving these guys off to the side because eventually that's where we're going to have to pull them from, is from the side. I mean, I should be putting them on the plate that I have here, but that would just, you know, make sense, I guess. And we're not about that here. No. No, we don't do things that make sense. It's gonna look very, very pinata-y by the time we're done here. Things always start out better in my head than they actually look when they come out. So I'm like, oh yeah, we can do that. No problems. No problems. Yeah, well, execution doesn't always get there. You win some, you lose some. Alright. Come on, get off of there. That was the piece I wasn't sure if we were going to use. Alright. That's okay. And if we have any little tiny gaps, it shouldn't be that terrible because we are layering up on here, so that should be all just fine and dandy. I'm losing the pieces. My goodness, that's not good. Losing them right in front of me. Alright. So some of these will probably be a little bit longer than others. And that's okay. We caught another mouse last night. And then there was another one in the trap this morning. I'm like, how many of the fuckers are back up there again? Like, what is going on? Like, it didn't sound like there was that many up there. But I guess some of them were a lot smaller than others, so we're thinking maybe maybe there was a mom up there that had babies recently and that they were just starting to venture out on their own to search for food, and that's how we were catching them, because they were none too wise to the cats that were down in the house. And we thought we had finally figured out how they were getting in and out, so we were hoping that maybe we had disrupted their transportation network, so to speak. Which we may have, because that's when we started getting them to come down towards the traps, was when we pulled down some vines. So hopefully, haven't seen any other action up there on our camera today since the husband went to drop one off this morning. So in my migraine stupor, where thinking was actually making my head throb last night, oh, it was bad. I was trying to work on my flying in Shadowlands a little bit, because I'm like, I'm so far behind. I did make some progress trying to push through the storyline. But I think I finished the Covenant campaign, and I'm short, so I'm like, damn. I'm still kind of trying to figure out Caritha, and I thought I was supposed to be able to get some renown from there. I could be wrong. But it got to the point where my head was just too bad, and just sitting there staring at the screen was becoming way too much when I realized I was not going to get there last night. I was like, damn, if I had realized that one of the quests I had been sitting on was part of the campaign, I would have tried to push through that a little bit sooner, but I thought I was stuck having to do just the daily stuff. But I was mistaken. So, joke's on me there. And right now I'm just desperately trying not to do anything that's gonna anger my body again, because that was pretty bad. It was bad, guys. It was not pleasant at all. Nothing makes me feel sicker than my head being messed up. Like, I can deal with other shit, I'll be pissy and uncomfortable, but I can deal with it. That, though, where every movement just makes me feel sick, it's terrible. And then I just kind of shut down after a point. I can push through for a little bit, but then I kind of hit a wall where I'm like, nope, can't function any longer. I'm gonna go cry in the corner. Leave a message. I might get back to you eventually. That's very much what it feels like. Alright, so the yellow might be a little bright in here, but I think I like it just to kind of break up all of this green. Just a bit. Uh-oh. Oh no. I cut it. I have no idea. I know I cut it. No idea where it went though. We may never know. We may never, ever, ever know. Alright. So it's gonna be a like kind of mosaic-y back here, but I think I'm okay with that. Oh, I've got glue all over this thing. This thing's a mess. Okay. So let me clean up our poor stylus here because it's being put through the ringer today. Eventually we'll get some glue out of here. Alright. Oh, don't tip over the cup. Can't tell you how many times I've done that. More than I care to admit. I've got enough stuff up here that I don't want it destroying if that happens again. I really need a bigger workspace. But then again, if I had a bigger workspace, the entire room would probably have to be reorganized. And I don't know if that would work within the space. What's wrong?
Oh, I'm just trying to get my mind off my thing.
Oh, I sound like you were going somewhere. Heard you grab your keys.
No, I was just moving my keys.
And Can I get this guy squished in there? Like, he doesn't have to be in there perfectly, but just enough. I'm kind of okay with those like sitting up and not laying flat. I think it will give it a little more oomph, maybe? Something? I don't know. Alright, so this row, like, I know it's kind of going backwards, but from what I was originally planning, but you know what? I think that's okay. I think right now my biggest problem is that my brain is at odds with what I have down underneath of it. So I'm kind of like fighting myself and I'm like, this doesn't look right. It's gonna look how it's gonna look, damn it. It can, I mean, this thing was gonna be abstract from the beginning anyway. Alright, we might be able to get, I mean, that one probably should have been a little bit smaller, but I mean, it's still a chance we could just, you know, make it smaller. Cut the paper, not your finger. Good advice to live by. Cut the paper, not the fingers. So, like, I guess if we yeah, like, we can just ignore that edge there. Kind of ignore it, but work on getting this all worked in here. So you, my friends, are just a little big. You're a little bit too wild on the end there. Well, I do find it good that I haven't had to pull more off of the plate yet, so I probably did over prep. But again, that's okay. It's okay. Grab another piece here. So I kind of pulled some stuff out and I've got it sitting all over the top edge. You can kind of see some of it peeking down. Kinda. Get that one tucked in there. He was a little bit bigger, so I probably shouldn't put this piece in just yet, but I don't want to lose the glue that's sitting there entirely. So might as well, right? So we're using a combination of I don't know what kind of green. It's darker than this green. Maybe like a spring green. And then we're kind of overlaying this this like lime green, yellow green on top of it. And then we're hitting it with like a really, like a sunshiny yellow on the edges in here. I mean, I probably should have cut some of this at first, but at the same time, I didn't want to pre-cut too much, because then I'd be stuck with all these little pieces that I either have to throw out or just forever hold on to, and that seems silly. Alright. Probably gonna have to cut more than that. Kind of expecting to need to. Get that cleaned up. I'm just gonna let that set up for just a second. Alright, it's probably set up just enough. Well, that guy's a little bit big there. Bigger than I was necessarily wanting. But like we found when working on some of the background feathers, the smaller that you get, the harder you are to work with. So hopefully we can get all of this done. Now looking at what time it is, I don't know if we're gonna putting it on this textured surface was not a good idea. I can't grab it. Don't know if we're gonna have time to finish all of it today. But we'll see. I'm here. Can't grab any of this stuff. Alright. Let's get a little bit more. Let's work on making sure we've got that edge good and covered. I'm not gonna worry about like the edges up on in here, because the Mod Podge, when we put that on top, will take care of any problem stragglers that we may have. So let's see how things go here. So it looks like Zaya has been able to hop in on a Bloodthirsty, and it looks like on the mall skip it just gave credit for the quests that were already allowed to go through the mall, but you will have to do the Ouroboros stuff because it's only going to get you through that first section and, you know, basically get you out of the escorty stuff, because that escort can be quite a pain. I'm kind of torn about doing the mall skip at this point, now that we've proven that we can do it on a Bloodthirsty, because I mean, you do get some XP out of it, and it does mean it's one less level in Bastion. I mean, before I was really wanting it when I thought we'd be able to go anywhere, but it's only skipping the mall. And we can't take Threads of Fate. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, pacifists and irons that are squishy, it's awesome for 100%. And perhaps if you're really nervous to go through them all on a Bloodthirsty, then yeah, it might be beneficial. At the very least, for peace of mind. I'm just so over being in Bastion that I'm just like, just someone get me out of here. Let's see if this glue is still liquidy enough. I mean, it's definitely an awesome thing for the irons, definitely an awesome thing for the pacifists. I would not recommend going into Shadowlands on a pacifist if you don't have flying, though. That would probably not work in your favor. Just saying. It's very scary out there. I mean, just because that you can get out there now doesn't necessarily mean you should throw caution to the wind. So, keep that in mind. Alright, let's get this kind of worked in here. Alright. Getting that cleaned up. Alright. Darker green. And we'll start snipping again. As I try to put them down somewhere where I can actually pick them back up again. Because we've been learning that's a small issue. Alright, so maybe we'll start that one about there. Roughly. So that way we still have enough room to get that third section in there. Okay. Keep tucking these guys in here. So it seems like the mother-in-law is going to be here through Thursday. I don't know if that means she's leaving on Friday. Or what? I don't know. Plans seem to change on the daily with that. And I'm like the last person to find out anything. I know she's supposed to be taking my mom shopping. On Thursday to get stuff for Thanksgiving. She's not supposed to be here for Thanksgiving though. She is going to be here for Christmas. It would seem. Alright. So we will see how that goes. We've got to make sure we keep track of what day is what, because we're very good at losing track of what day is what, because we have appointments coming up, or at least the husband does, for different doctors that he has to drop stuff off to. So we can get this stuff back to our lawyer. Okay. You okay?
Uh-huh.
Where'd you go?
My mom's a dork.
Oh God, what now?
She got that cheese. That spread cheese.
Uh-huh.
It was dated for September.
21.
Yeah.
She bought outdated cheese.
That's the case. She bought another one. That one's dated for August.
Does she not check dates?
I guess she doesn't.
She took the old one back, and got an even older one.
No. The first one, the September one was eaten. I ate most of it.
And you never noticed the date on it?
No, not till it was done.
Oh dear.
I'm okay. I ate most of it yesterday. The fact that I'm not fucking dead or yarfing means I'm fine. But still, that may actually explain. Remember how I was talking about those sulfur burps?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I had some of that day.
Oh
Explain it.
dear. Are you gonna be able to eat dinner?
Probably.
Okay. See, I can't. Can I bitch about the people stocking the shelves? Because I used to be one of those people. I mean, I know stuff gets missed. It's gonna happen. Human error is gonna happen. But at the same time, I mean, I know they don't give them enough time in a day to rotate stuff on the shelves. I know they don't. But we also kind of would get in trouble for pulling stuff when our computer training told us to pull it, and management's like, no. Don't pull that. And we're like, but the computer training said to pull it. And they're like, no, leave it. We have to mark that down. I'm like, okay, well, let's pull it off and put it in a basket so they can mark it down. Or else it's forever going to sit there and it's never going to get dealt with. And then you're going to have an irate customer. Or be like, why isn't this product moving? And then somebody's going to like walk up to you and be like, you know this cheese is outdated? Like, come on. I kid you not, our training for dairy said to pull the milk within 3 days of the date. So we did. We followed our training and we got in trouble. It was supposed to be pulled so they could mark it down. Or donate it or do something with it. That's why, see, Russell and I know things, so we are usually pretty good at checking dates when we go to buy stuff. Sometimes I get anal about it. Because we know. The things we have seen. I'm like, well, tell the department merchant to do their damn job. Ow! I think I just cut myself. Nah, we're good. We're good. It was just a pinch. Alright, so I don't want these too long because then you won't see the lime green under it. Alright. So it does look like we have the the free emote one. I don't know what I'm gonna put in the free emote. I'm not sure yet. I don't know if we're gonna do Art Pinky or George. People aren't really gonna understand George though. Because nobody's ever really seen George, so it's more of a just a weirdness. I don't know. Kind of hard to do an Art Pinky. Kind of think about it. Husband's plate's full at the moment anyhow. So it's gonna have to wait till he's done whatever he's in the middle of anyway. So it probably won't be till the end of November. Although we could probably switch switch up. We don't have the guinea pigs anymore, so we can't really use the guinea pig emote. I could move the tears around a little though. We'll have to see. One. I know it seems silly to be cutting these into smaller chunks just to line them back all up again, but they do actually fit together better in the smaller pieces. Alright, let's see. Are you gonna slide into there? Kinda. Alright. So I'm gonna give that just a moment to set up, and while that's happening, what is this? That's so while that is setting up, let me see if I can locate the one thing here. I keep losing our reference image. And I don't know where it's ended up. Okay, not there. Did it end up in here? Is that it? That's it. Okay, so there's a little bit more of like a brownish shade in there, but see, there's kind of like some black edging around in there, so you kind of get the idea. The only thing we're not doing is like the orangey tinge, I mean, we could, I guess. It's like barely there, but let me see here. What color orange were we using for? I think we were using this one. I don't have any of it prepped, but we wouldn't need that much of it. It's like barely there. So maybe we can do a little bit. I'm just gonna twist a few of these real quick so that way we can catch back up here if my fingers will cooperate. Sometimes they don't wanna. Alright, so it's really not many. It's just a couple. Alright. So I'm never good at cutting multiples at once. I usually end up cutting myself. Or dropping half of them. So well, did you throw that other cheese away? Russell?
Hmm?
Did you throw the other cheese away?
No, I don't know if she wants to try to return it or not.
Oh, it hasn't been opened yet?
Yeah, I haven't opened it.
Okay. Did you tell her before she opens it? Did you tell her?
Huh? Yeah, I messaged her.
Alright. That in there. Okay, so this will probably be enough to at least get us caught up. Okay. Let's grab our glue bottle. We really don't need very much here. Come on, glue. Okay. So my brush is still a little damp, so it's not wanting to spread the glue very well. Not a huge surprise though. Because, you know, we've been putting our glue brush through its paces today. And that's for sure. Okay. So, I mean, I guess this will be a way to kind of tie in the orange a little bit. So it'll be a little bit longer, unfortunately. But we don't need a whole crap ton of it, so that's good. So yeah, that's gonna be a little bit long in some spots, but sometimes when I get a little bit smaller, I have trouble working with it, so get that guy in there. Okay, so we probably need a few more clipped here. And that's okay. We can do that. We should be able to get that done before that little bit starts to dry. So we won't need too many. What, maybe 3? Roughly. I mean, the orange definitely gives it a bit of a pop. And it does kind of tie in the orange from our eye feathers. So we do have that. Actually, we probably didn't need quite that many for this spot, but it's not like we don't need it, so. That set in there. And that's in there. Okay. And this little guy tucked in there. And this little wee guy over in here. Okay. So we've added another color in the mix there. All right. Next section. I mean, it's kind of like a crude interpretation of what we're doing, but you know, we're doing something, so I have like either no hand strength in this hand, which is probably very accurate, or the nozzle's getting clogged. One of those. Alright, so let's clean that guy up. Okay, so that's not real thick, but at the same time, I'm okay with that not being real thick in that spot. Since we're doing so much overlapping, it should be fine. Alright. Get back to trimming our pieces here. Getting our guys all laid in. Oh, please don't dump that everywhere, please. Hand accidentally touches one thing, then the delicate, precariously balanced stuff all decide that it's time to take a tumble. It's like, no, let's not do that, please. Okay. Oh, that one kind of got stuck up on the scissors and basically unraveled on us. Okay. And work on getting these last couple in here. Probably have to trim down one more for this section. What's up?
Nothing. Warning your mother about the cheese.
About the cheese.
The out-of-date cheese? I didn't know if it's something she'd eat.
Oh. I don't ever seen her eat it. Just a thin line, well, as thin as we can get. I kind of clipped the opening on this one a little bit, almost about a little bit wider than I had anticipated. Okay. Our poor glue brush. It's like a sodden, wet puppy left out in the rain. Okay. Get that tucked in the line there. Okay. Getting these pieces tucked in here. So hope everybody's week's going well. And tomorrow we'll be doing our normal bloodthirsty stream. That was rude, Mr. Carr. And I usually have a strict policy never to play a challenger on a patch day, usually. So, like I said, tonight I'll fuss with a challenge class. Or a trial class, excuse me. And, see what there is to see about that while my dinner's cooking, and then I'll cobble together a statement from WoW challenges to put out on the socials. As best I can, based on all of the findings from everybody. Okay. Unless Lita gets to it before me, but I doubt she's going to. She might, but I know she's busy doing pre-work things that need doing. These cars are so loud today, probably because it's been rainy for like the past week. Like, I know we needed the rain. We did. But my body doesn't like the rain that much. At times. I'm actually amazed that I'm able to somewhat function today. Because I wasn't so sure that was gonna happen last night. Especially with how I was still feeling in the wee hours of this morning. I still kind of feel it in the background, but it's not like it was at the moment. It doesn't help that it's supposed to get super fucking cold. It's more that it got cold and rained than it just raining. Like, we actually had to turn the heat on in the house. We've been having lows in the 40s. It's kind of chilly for here. Well, I mean, not for here. It does snow occasionally here. It's not unheard of. But compared to last November, it's pretty cold right now. Last November, we still had the air conditioning running close to Thanksgiving, which was pretty fucking amazing. Not necessarily in a good way, just amazing that we had to be doing that. Alright, getting that little guy tapped in there. Yeah, getting that in there. Okay. So we will need to twist a little bit of orange here. Not a whole lot. Because we still have one orange guy sitting over there. Let's get the tip off of that guy. That one. Like, we don't want to overdo it on the orange, right? But I do want it in there to some degree. Even if I do feel like it's making it turn into a turkey instead of a peafowl. Alright, get a little bit of glue. Kind of make sure that everybody's still seated as best as they can. Oh, you know what? Let's not do that. Let's put in our line for our edging here. Make sure everybody's good and seated. All right. I'm gonna have to do some snipping on the edge of this brush. I've got some bristly guys that are curling upwards. That could potentially be a bit of a problem. Get off of there. Okay, that guy in there. Can't have these too low, because then they'll be infringing upon where we were gonna put our edging. Alright, you're an extra. Alright. Start to snip our edges here. Work on getting these guys in place here. Now this guy. Now, if I had just tried to put him in there as one solid piece, I don't think he would have fit in there as well. Alright. So it's kind of looking ridiculous, but the whole thing looks ridiculous, so it's fine. Alright, so how do we want this one to lay in here? Maybe there. Alright. We'll get this one worked into here. I mean, whew, that orange. Did we make a mistake putting it in? I don't know. Definitely catches your eye. That's for sure. Okay. So let's grab our black pieces here. And we'll start snipping them together. Just so we have our one side, our one side edging. Alright, getting that guy kind of shoved in there. So our porch cat, I was starting to get the stuff together for our dinner to get that started ahead of time. And I was like, you know what, it's really cold out. I've never known him to show up this time of day. But I know I'm going to be busy later, so let me go ahead and feed him now, so I don't forget. So I fed him, and like 10 minutes later, he's like walking up the driveway. Checking out the front porch, and I'm like, son of a bitch, where did you come from? Are you like living in the backyard and we don't even know it? Did you hear the food go into the bowl? Like, you're supposed to have a home, my friend. Somebody said they were yours on Facebook. Do you just not go home anymore, or are they mistaken and that you are the wrong cat? Did they move? Did they abandon you? I don't know. But I do find it odd that he's here at all hours of the day eating. I thought he only came by at night. Joke's on me. Because it seems like there's days where we don't see him. So I thought, you know, oh, well, maybe the lady that said he's there, she's keeping him inside because it's raining or cold or whatever. I guess he just found someplace else to go. Come on. Okay. Alright. Next color is gonna be our lime green. Okay, I did get the last 2 art streams finally posted up on YouTube. Sorry for the delay on that. I was not feeling well, so I didn't want to deal with it, basically. They are up now. And I have not had time to finish up the new animal exhibit in Flamingo Falls, so that video is going to be delayed. Not that I really had a upload schedule for Flamingo Falls, but it's going to be a little bit before I can get to that, mostly because, you know, holidays. If I start to make some progress on the holiday stuff and I feel like I can lose a few hours to zoo, I will. But zoo can be a little tough on my hand, so I'm trying to keep that in as functioning order as possible. We've been doing okay. It's been doing a little better. So I think the splinty thingy did help at night. I didn't wear it last night because I wasn't feeling well. But tonight we're going to have to put that back on. Alright. Okay. Get our yellow. I don't know, maybe we went a little overboard on the orange, but it's there now. I don't know, it'll be okay. I think it was gonna look weird no matter what I did, so. And I don't think it would have looked right without the separations in there. Like if we had ripped out the black pieces in between, I think it would have looked a little weird with everything kind of running into each other. All right. We're definitely making progress. Slow progress, but we're definitely making it. Here, get one more yellow. So I'm thinking this is actually gonna be a little little long hair. Okay. Getting that. Set up there. Alright. So maybe 2. We'll see. What we can do here with this. Get these guys put those in there. Alright, maybe one more. Alright, get that in place. Okay. Get this kind of tucked in there. Kind of get that worked in. All right. And get this cleaned up. So next one, let's see, maybe to there. All right, and let's work on getting this put in. What's wrong?
Nothing. Go to the bathroom again.
Oh, it sounded like you were clearing your throat because somebody was doing something dumb.
No, I'm clearing my throat because I got phlegm in it. Sorry.
Alright. So. Never know what the parents are up to. And what kind of silly things we're gonna have to deal with. It's like, what did you do now? We've got more of our green here, and oh yeah, we've got plenty of our green. In fact, I probably did twist too much, but that's okay. We'll just tuck it in a Ziploc bag for that color, and we'll put it in storage. And then it's already twisted for the next project, so that'll be fun. That'll save me some time. Most definitely. Alright, get all of that put in there. And we will get this shade put into here. And probably gonna have to cut a couple more of these strands. Well, maybe one more at least. We're gonna need to put into place. At least. Alright. But that's okay. This one's a little long, but that's alright. It'll get glued down all the same. Probably better that the bottom piece is going to be a little long if anybody's going to be. No, not diagonal. Not diagonal. Okay. Actually, I think... Yep. Need one more cut. And we will get that into there. Okay. That to the side. Alright, next layer. Just try to blot off as much water off of that brush as possible. Okay. Getting this dried off. Next color. Alright. Had to find it first. It's like I think we still have some off of the plate up here. We do. We don't have a whole lot of this color pulled off of... Well, actually, this one wasn't in the plate. This one was out of the storage bag. But either way, it's probably going to be the first color that we're... Well, no, not necessarily. We're probably going to have to pull some more of the, like the spring green off before too much longer as well. Alright. So you can, I mean, these two greens are fairly close to each other, so it's kind of hard to tell them apart. I mean, they're definitely two different colors there. But they are kind of close. This one's a little bit deeper of a yellow green, I think. Alright. We need a few more pieces of this guy. If I could stop sticking my finger in the glue, that would be awesome. Will that ever happen? Probably not. Alright. Slide this into here. You alright?
Mm-hmm. No, just my guts are upset.
Okay. Okay. Oh. No excuse for that. I just straight up dropped it. The other hand was supposed to pick it up, and instead it just watched it fall. I was like, hey, that just happened. Come on, fingers, work with me here. Just kind of make sure everybody is as seated as they can be. Which sometimes is easier said than done. Alright. So, time to get the next row of yellow in place. And again, I'm just taking some of the tacky glue and tapping the bottom edge as well, just to make sure that everybody is well and truly secured. Alright, grab our yellows. Yellow. Alright. So I'm hoping at some point tonight, after I get done looking at the mall skippy stuff, I can get in there on my regular. And see if I can finish up trying to get my renown. There's one quest I'm not sure if I think I dropped one quest that I shouldn't have, but I got mad. I'm like, why am I doing this? This isn't the thing that I thought I was supposed to be doing. But we will see what happens with that. Worst case scenario is that I just have to tough it out and wait for the dailies to turn over. I hope I don't have to, but I might. So we will have to wait on to see. Were they still cooking?
No, they finished.
Okay. Oh, damn it. Can you go take the sauce out of the freezer?
Give me a second.
And preheat the oven? Every damn time. I forget to take that sauce out of the freezer. Every time. Oh, it's aggravating. Alright, and we'll get this last little guy tucked in on the edge there. Okay. Try to get our line in place there. Now that's a little thick, I think. I'll definitely make sure nobody goes anywhere, but we will see. It's slowly coming together. Ever so slowly. Please be careful.
Trying to be. Alright, this sauce. Preheat oven. What's oven preheat to?
425. I really need to get a pizza stone. One of these days. One of these days we will. It's so funny. Russell's like, now Christmas presents have been ordered. He's like, even if you think something's for you, don't you dare open it. He's like, no peeking. And I'm like, okay, I won't peek. And one of the things that came in the mail the other day had the name of the company right on the box. and I started laughing when I pulled it out of the mailbox, and Russell was heading out to drop a mouse off at our drop-off location. He's like, what? And I'm like, nothing. He goes, what's so funny? And I was like, you'll see when you get back. Don't worry about it. And he saw the box and he came back. He's like, God damn it. It's like right on the outside of the gift box. I was like, yep. I was like, I didn't peek. I couldn't help it. It was right there in front of me. Like, not my fault on this one. Like, you can't get me in trouble for that one. Especially when the parents kept asking us to go check the mail over the past couple of days because they didn't want to go out to check it. I don't think I've been banned from checking the mail, but I mean, I already kind of know, but the one thing was supposed to be a surprise that I didn't know about. Just kind of funny. I still don't know for sure what's in there. I have an idea, but okay, so let's work on getting this last little guy in. Now, I might have to work on this a bit outside of stream. We will see. Alright, so this is going to be the last section that we're going to work on today. Because while this is going faster than I expected, we're not gonna get as done as I was thinking we were. maybe if I didn't have to worry about making dinner tonight, but I am getting hungry myself, so. Like I said, we're trying not to piss off my body any more than it already is, so. Probably shouldn't push dinner too late. If we can help it. I mean, I did actually have something for lunch, which is abnormal. But I was also up pretty early for me today, so. Hope everybody is having fun with the patch. There was like so much that they were throwing in on this patch that it kind of just all became like background noise to me after a certain point, and it was just like blah 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 blah. I'm like, okay, there's too much for me to keep track of. I know a few things that were kind of relevant for WoW challenges, and then after that I'm like, yeah, okay. Because I do remember getting salty about some of it. I'm like, can't we just have some bug fixes? Like, do we really need X, Y, or Z? I'd really rather, like, G, J, and K were fixed before we start throwing in all this new shit. Because that stuff's been there for a while, and it feels like it's not getting any love anymore, and that it's just been banished to the corner. But I'm sure I am very much in the minority in that thought. Alright. So the kitten is still petrified of the mother-in-law, which is sad because I hardly see her now. She's like hiding under Russell's desk. I'll see her briefly if she sneaks out to eat around the mother-in-law being either here or napping or what have you, but or at night when the kitten thinks she's gone to bed. Otherwise, kitten's like, nope. Nope, 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 nope. Does make me wonder why she puts up with me and Russell so well, since she still doesn't really like my parents either, and they've been here the whole time she has. Grab these guys. I think that's all I have pulled out of this color. Nope, 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 no, no, that's not where you were supposed to go. Or how you were supposed to go, but okay. Supplies are gonna supply, I guess. They've decided, that's nice, we're doing this our way. And Momo's still Momoing. Still don't know what's gonna happen there. He's probably as good as he's gonna get. We're trying to slowly wean him off the pain medication again, because he had a couple of days there where he just looked so miserable that we gave it to him 3 times instead of just the once that we were starting to do. I mean, it's already like a quarter of a pain pill, and we were already doing a half just to try to extend the medication a bit. And the vet's like, oh, well, take the muscle relaxer and quarter that. We had been halving it, so I'm like, oh, okay. That's fine. Anything to make it last further, and he's gonna have another evaluation visit at some point here. I don't think they're gonna really be able to tell us too much. He did run through the house the other day when his brother barked. Scared the shit out of me because I'm like, don't run. He was trying to get to his brother. It's the most I'd seen him move since all this started. And but he's still not readily jumping up onto the bed or doing much more than getting up to potty on his potty pad and then laying back down. So he still has his happy moments, though. He still has a happy tail and kind of greets us when we come back from being out. So he's still eating with enthusiasm. Every time we walk back in the room from being out in the kitchen, he's like, do you have something? He's like looking at me like, do you have something for me? What do you have? Because I also like it. And I'm like, buddy, it's just a drink. That's all I have. Promise. Alright, these colors we can put up on our plate. Hey, stop that. Oh, look, now you're stuck. Stop. Peabut's so bad sometimes. He's using our box spring as his personal scratching post. Well, all of them do. Him and Cal have like ripped a hole in the cover of the box spring on the one corner. And we're probably gonna have to sew something over it soon so they can't climb in the box spring. Because that's the last thing I need. Is a cat getting stuck in the box spring. Or have them crawling around in there when I'm trying to sleep. Totally see that happening. Peabody! Oh my god. If it's not cow meowing, it's you. Oh my god. He's in a cardboard box that we haven't gotten rid of yet. And he's just scratching the crap out of it, trying to destroy it. Because he's a spaz. I swear. These cats are driving me batty. P-Butt! Thank you. 3, 2, yep. He is so bad. He knows he's not supposed to be doing it, too. And now the dog's gonna get upset because the cat's making noise in the box. It's a circus here sometimes. Scratch, scratch, scratch. I have no idea how much of that is coming through. Peabody, can we not? Apparently, no. We have to. You don't understand, lady. It is destroy stuff o'clock. I've seen this cat destroy a roll of paper towels that fell off of wherever we had sat them. I think they rolled off the top of the puppy cage. We had been cleaning, we sat them there, and I think they rolled off when we were doing something, and we turned around, and next thing we knew, there was a pile of shredded paper towels, and he, like, was body hugging the roll, bunny feeding them. And I'm like, stop, what are you doing? And, well, that roll was pretty much destroyed at that point because he had clawed, like, 2/3 of the way through it. I'm like, really, dude? And he's like, meow. It's like, alright then. You bet. He's such a troll sometimes. Get our last line segment put in for today. Alright, so we're done with the yellow for now. For today's session. I really wish we'd been able to get further, but time and stuff. Actually, looking at the time, it probably would have taken us a 6-hour session to finish this. Alright, I probably don't even need this much orange, but start to get this tapped in. And then we'll get our last little separation guy in there. That's probably good enough on that one. Let me grab all of my orange paper and put that up on my plate for later. So the black ones are a little bit thicker so I'm having a little bit of trouble getting these guys cut. Not too much, but you know, just a little bit. Alright. And I don't think I have any more of this cut. So we'll snip a little section here. And snipped it too short, of course I did. There we go. Okay. Alrighty. And that is going to do it for today. Sorry we didn't get further. But, you know, things and stuff. I don't know if we're still going to be on this on Friday. We'll see how things go. We might try to finish it up on Friday instead of Planet Zoo. But that's going to be it for today. So just a quick little bonus art stream. I know I don't normally stream today, so I guess a lot of people will be catching it on the replay. So it's not looking too bad. I mean, it looks a little silly at the moment, but you know, at least we're tying in the orange from the outer sections and bringing it into here, and it doesn't look that far off of the reference. We're kind of putting all of those in there, and once we get it more put in, and like this is all gone, it'll probably look just a little bit better. I know our black lines are a little bit thick in there, but that's okay. It gives it a different kind of look. So I will see everybody tomorrow night. We'll be doing WoW challenges, and I'll be showing you the new Moss Skip live tonight. I'm gonna play with a trial class and see how that looks, and then tomorrow for when we're live, we'll actually take some characters through that, and we'll see what there is to do and try to level up some challengers. So until tomorrow night, you guys take care of yourselves, stay safe, stay warm, stay dry. It's been kind of wet out there lately, and I will see you all tomorrow. Have a good one.